This is my second generation iPod Nano. It's got the iconic click wheel for navigation, and as you can see, it's the rare special edition product red version, which means that a percentage of the money that I paid for this went to fighting AIDS, I think, in Africa or something like that. But I remember it being quite expensive. It was definitely over £100. I think it was something like £150 at the time. I couldn't afford the 8 gig version, so I got the 4 gig version. To be honest, 4 gigabytes was more than enough at the time because all I was putting on it was MP3s and podcasts. So yeah, another reason why I purchased this back in the day, I remember, is because it was compatible with Nike Plus. So I also purchased the Nike Plus attachment and the shoes. I don't have those anymore since that was a long time ago now, 2006. So in this video, I just want to see how this functions in this day and age. I know it still turns on. I fully charged it yesterday, so it's locked right now. So if I just turn it on, yeah, it turns on. And look at that. So the way it worked was just by this click wheel. It was quite innovative at the time. I'm not sure if Apple actually invented that, but it was part of their iconic iPod. So there's the menu button, forward, backward, play, pause. Very simple, very intuitive. And of course the center button for OK. So in order to connect this to the computer, you need the old school iPod cable or the Apple cable. This is also what the iPhones used up until iPhone 5, I think, before they went to the Lightning cable. But this is how it works. So you plug this into your computer. Traditionally, if you set the iTunes software to fire up when you plug this in, it should do that, and it should do all the syncing and the stuff that you've set up. Usually I used to sync my podcasts and some of my new music into this, but mostly for podcasts I use this for. Completely new machine. I have plugged this obviously into the machine before, but that was years and years ago. So let's see what happens, shall we? Fingers crossed. See, it's popped up there. That's on the desktop. It says, that's supposed to say Ade's iPod, but because I've used a weird character for the E, because the E has an accent, or is that an apostrophe? I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, it's also turned up here. Okay, so if I click on that, let's have a look. It's got some information. I like how the name is still Ade's iPod. That's great. Just in case you thought it was someone else's. Capacity 3.68 gigabytes. So that's not the free capacity, that's the total capacity. 4 gigabytes is always a bit less, 8 gigabytes is always a bit less. I'm sure you know that by now. Version 1.1.3, that's the software version before it was discontinued, I suppose, because I used to update my firmware quite regularly, and that's what's going to stay forever. So that it's not going to change. But at least I'm grateful that you can still connect the iPod to iTunes. It still recognizes it. Format Windows. I think what that's about is the fact that when I got this, it was my first ever Apple product, so I had a Windows PC at the time, so I was running iTunes for Windows. So that's probably what that means. Okay, so all my settings, enable disk use, open iTunes. Okay, so obviously I don't have it opening iTunes automatically. Convert higher bitrate songs to, no, I don't have all those settings there, but those are all possible settings. As you can see, it's mostly empty. Let's have a look at what I've got in there. Music. 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 songs. Audiobooks, nothing. But obviously, this takes podcasts, audiobooks, and all sorts of other things. Yeah, so that still works. So the sync button is still activated. As you can see, it says syncing complete, and I can still obviously back up and restore. So this can still be used today, 2019, and I assume also moving into 2020. The iPod didn't have the automatic eject like the iPhones did eventually, because it doesn't have its own software that is capable of doing that. As you can see, you know, do not disconnect. So that warns you not to disconnect the cable while that is on. What it wants you to do is go over and eject from iTunes. And as that is done, you can see it then allows you to unplug. So now I can just press this bit here and unplug. Done and dusted. So as you can see, it takes the standard audio jack, which means I can use any earphones, including Apple's earphones, earbuds or AirPods, whatever you want to call those. Obviously it doesn't take any of the wireless options because it doesn't have Bluetooth. Sounds amazing, sounds amazing. I might go back to using this actually now. It's super cool and it's very simple, very light. I can imagine going running with this and not worrying that it's going to fall out of my pocket and break. I think it was designed to be that. Like I said before, it's compatible with Nike Plus. So that's the flashback to the second generation iPod Nano Special Edition Red. Yeah, if you like this kind of video, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be bringing you more of this sort of stuff. I've got the original iPad coming and all sorts of other things. All right, ready to turn them out. Take care of yourself.